Mr. Jenkins,
Klinger, what's up?
hey, what's up, my man? Nice to see you again.
You say it's raining out there?
Yeah, it's about to storm, and my dog has his thunder shirt on. He's a little nervous.
So, um, so I have a rescue pit bull,
Yeah,
and um, we did a thing where we were part of a thing where our whole town got tested. Um, I don't know if you did you read about that in the New York Times or anything?
yep.
Um, and so, um, so we all came out negative, and Um, although one friend she had recovered from COVID. She's a nurse and was sick for really sick for 3 weeks and but tested again and tested negative. So anyway, they shot off some fireworks, and my dog freaked the fuck out. Like it's incredible what that does to a dog. You got to be really look out for him. I wish he had a Thunder shirt.
Yeah, check this little dude out, man. He's a rat terrier rescue, and he's just a little nervous right now.
I mean, I wish I had a Thunder shirt.
I'll mail you one. I don't know if they make one in super badass size.
Yeah.
I Sorry, it's my living room and yours. Hey, I want to say what a gentleman you are, and it has always stuck with me. Last summer when you and I connected at Merriweather here in DC, my dad was riding out, 82 years old, and you were just a good dude, and that has stuck with me, and I appreciate it because your mind was in show mode, and so thank you very much for being so kind. That has always stuck with me.
How's he riding out this reset?
Well, he's a social butterfly, and he lives in Atlanta. He won't stop going out. He wants to go to Piedmont Park, and he wants to go to Costco. And I'm like, my brothers and I are it's such a slippery slope because we don't want to be dicks about it. But I'm like,
yeah,
stay home, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to just be really stressful when you have elder parents trying to keep them, because they get old and then they've got those rhythms, and those rhythms keep them alive, and you like disrupt your rhythm to stay alive, and it doesn't compute, so.
I want to give you the nod because when all this started, didn't you make an effort to make sure that your crew for Third Eye Blind was taken care of? How many essential members of your crew do you have on average to put on a Third Eye Blind show?
To put on to do the bigger tours that we do, it's probably 15, not including the band. But the larger part of that is we then include the drivers. So then it goes up to 19.
Okay.
So yeah, but that's with all of the major touring acts that go out. It's significant, and all those people, they have no means of income. They're very specialized in what they do, and those are the people that bring that magic. They set that stage for us to do what we do, and they're gutted by this because if you want to be part of the solution and not the spread, that means you're going to be off the road for, how long is it going to be? A year?
Yeah, I was gonna. That's another one of my questions. Like, this is your business and how you make a living. So, like, could it be that long?
Could be. Yeah.
So Crew Nation, we've talked a lot about it. I think it's incredible. It's not just a great feel-good story, but it's a reality for so many people that when we go see a show that maybe we see them setting up, breaking down and stuff, but these people are what make it kind of click for you. And I just appreciate that you are helping to spread that, that information so that people can make a donation. But you made a pact right off the whip to make sure that those men and women on your crew are taken care of. That's badass.
Well, we also did. I don't know if you got to see it, but we did like a little EP that we made together, each from our houses, and figured out the the tech and the logistics of doing it. You can watch it if you go to Third Eye Blind on Instagram, or actually Third Eye Blind on our channel on YouTube. You can find it, and you know, a lot of us are really struggling right now, obviously, with this country is basically in ruins. But if you can support them, it will mean a lot to the people who make those shows happen. They're so good at what they do. When you see those guys running around, you know, on stage before the show, before the lights go out, you would be amazed at how, I mean, they are so tight and so skilled at what they do. So, yeah. Pitch in.
Yes. I also want to congratulate you on, wow, I'm giving a lot of accolades today, but you have a lot of things cooking. Screamer, dude, is still sort of in its infant stages, and you're not able to get out there and tour that.
Yeah. Sucks.
So what do you do because it's like...
And thank you guys for playing Waves. DC 101, I don't know. I don't think that there is a station, I'm trying to think, who has been more like just supportive. Hey, I can't think of any that has been as supportive of us as DC 101 has. And like when we go play Merriweather Post, it's just packed, and everybody knows every word. And it's like there's a reason for that. You guys are part of that reason. So sorry to interrupt, but thank you.
It's not an interruption at all. We appreciate that. It's interesting. When I made a social post, hey, I'm going to talk to Stephen Jenkins. A couple people chimed in on some must-have requests. I'm just going to throw those to you, and then you decide what you want to play and what you don't.
I love it.
Tanya said, hey, it's got to be Motorcycle Drive-By. I've actually had a couple of people talking about that.
Okay, thinking about that.
Sabrina said, hey, I want to hear Summertime Life, but not the radio edit, the full version.
No.
Dave, who works at the Anthem, and which is part of IMP and 930 and Merriweather, said,
yeah,
hey,
I love the Anthem. You guys have got so many good places. I mean, you're like really lucky in DC that you've got the 930 Club, which is great. You've got the Anthem, which is great, and you drive just a little bit out of town, and you've got Merriweather Post. It's like, you know, it's riches. Okay.
I think some of the most unique venues in the country. I'm a bit biased. I'm sure you got some badass venues in California.
What's the name of that little punk club too? It's over near 930. I know you know what it is.
Which one?
It's a punk club. Small. It'll come to me.
Somebody's gonna post up, I'm sure, in the comments.
Yeah, somebody in the credits like post up. What is the name of the punk club? I'm thinking near the 930. That's super dope.
Black Cat.
Black Cat. Bitch. Yeah. Awesome.
So David said, hey man, Slow Motion. There's some oldies but goodies, man. When you sing those words, what comes to your mind?
It's like I'm watching a movie. So I'm just kind of like, I'm just trying to like live in the scene that I'm in.
Yeah, yeah. Are those cool scenes for you?
Are they cool scenes for me?
Yeah.
Well, sure. I don't know what that means.
Well, like, just because I'm always wondering, like, your frame of mind when you wrote that song and now your frame of mind when you sing it in 2020, is it like, is it kind of the same? Is it lonely? Is it happy? Is it, you know what I mean?
You know what it is? It's like, I'm just trying to take the piss out of, like, hardcore drive-by rap. It's like, when I wrote it at the time, the idea was, it's like, just as violent, you know, and destructive as you could get was where like that's where the energy came in the lyric. And at a certain point, like hip hop has it kind of became it still is. It's still what punk is. Like punk turned into hip hop, but there was this point where it's like it's not really actually telling you how it is. It's just trying to be like salacious and like just to show destruction. And I'm like, you want to see destruction? You want to see like violence? I'll make the most violent fucking song you've ever heard in your life, and I would serve it up to you in a lullaby. So that's kind of where that song came from. I haven't experienced any of the things in that song whatsoever. Yeah.
Well, you got our attention, I think, when you're talking about cocaine and cutting it with Drano, and I'm like, good God, what would happen there?
I don't know. I've never cut cocaine with Drano. I always keep my cocaine really, just pure.
Did you accomplish your goal on that last tour? Your partnership with Klinger? You set out to do a tour that was as close to carbon neutral as possible. That's a lofty goal. And now looking back, is that the blueprint for every tour going forward?
Yeah, I mean, on that tour we were like extra ambitious because we did carbon. So the way that works with Klinger is it's pretty easy to compute what your carbon footprint is for an activity. So all of our trucks, all of our buses, everything that we were doing has an amount of carbon that's created through fossil fuel use that goes up into the air. That can be offset by trees. Trees are this incredible climate control system because they create oxygen and obviously they also capture carbon. So we did that for ourselves, but what we realized was the biggest creator of carbon on the tour was the audience. So we said, let's just do it. So we donated the carbon footprint of all the fans who were driving there as well. And we just kind of said, like, it's going to show up energetically. It's going to feel better. Even if people don't know what's happening, it just feels better being in the audience at that point. So that's what we did at that time. It's interesting, though, Klinger, that you bring this up because, like, if you look outside, I was talking about this. I've never seen the sky so blue. It's raining where you are right now, but, like, have you noticed that this spring in DC is, like, just the sky is a color of blue I have never seen before.
The colors are vivid. The leaves, I mean, granted, the trees are starting to flush out their leaves and stuff, and they're so beautiful. And I don't know if I'm just super sensitive because I'm not leaving the house and I have time to look at this stuff. It's beautiful.
It's because there's less carbon in the air. And this is what I want people to see is this is what it's like when we get off fossil fuels. And the fossil fuel industry has denied climate change even though they knew it existed. They've gouged prices. They've caused global havoc. Russia is a fucking drag. Saudi Arabia is a drag. Like, they're all just a bummer. And that industry is dying. Good. That's the one thing that I hope just crashes and burns, because that is what's going to make it possible for alternative fuels to really finally come in and just move up to the front. So, and of course, shithead wants to bail him out. Did you notice I don't even need to say his name and you know who I'm talking about?
Everybody does, yeah. I get it.
Wants to bail out the fossil fuel industry. No, let's instead support alternative fuel sources. Let's do that. Let's make that move now and then you get this blue sky forever.
You know, that's an interesting thing to recognize, because we've also seen the canals in Venice, you know, and the ozone layer is doing its thing, and it's like, well, there's probably a reason for that, you know?
Oh, you mean those dolphins in the canals in Venice?
Yeah, they're gorgeous, and so.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I want to ask you a question about a full record versus EPs, because you were kind of doing EPs for a minute. Is it more of a sense of immediacy, getting Third Eye Blind music to your fans versus making a record?
That's the idea. And, you know, that's the idea, but it's really never kind of come out that way, because my whole point is like, you know, I write these songs and I have to record them, and then we have to wait for the schedule to put them out. And there's always, you're standing behind all of this bullshit. And I'm like, every time I do it, I go, you know, I don't want to wait to make a whole LP. When I make a song, I just want to put it out there. And so basically, I said all those things, and then they're never true. Like, I still end up holding on to songs and putting them into some kinds of collections and everything else. So, you know, like, God, what's that guy's name? Calvin Harris. So, like, Calvin Harris, it's not DC 101 music, but it's like, he's a DJ, you know who he is. And, like, he just, like, makes a song, puts the song out, right? I love that. He doesn't make that many songs, but he makes one a quarter, and out it goes, and yay, and then he goes and DJs. I was like, dude, I just want to do that. But yeah, it never turns out that way.
Well, have you recorded anything during this time? Is this, maybe this could be just another vehicle to get closer to that?
Well, we did. We got everybody together, and we played kind of like a little EP from our house that we did for. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw it. Cool.
Huh?
I saw it. It was cool.
I mean, yeah. So that was great. Once we get past some level of the shutdown, then we will go and get into a studio, because I think we're going to be in a studio before we're going to be able to be on a tour.
Does Stephan Jenkins own a record player?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm all about vinyl. That's what was, you know, so funny about it. It's like I record my records on analog tape. I'm super fussy about it. Dude, that's a plane flying overhead. When's the last time you heard a plane flying overhead? So weird. That's the sound of a plane flying overhead.
I was like, what the hell?
You know, I'm always like super fussy about recording everything analog instead of digital. And then I go, yeah, I'm just going to put them out. So now I love vinyl. I love going to record stores. I love browsing record stores. When we're on tour, there's always some super cool indie shop. Go there and check out new music, and or just find something I don't know. Like, you know, I was in Amoeba in New York, in Williamsburg, and there was I heard somebody playing. It was like just this. It sounded like a grumpy old bastard, and it turned out it was like this 21-year-old kid, I think South London, named King Cruel. And I had to find out what it was, and I walked out of there with his records and just loved it and became a fan. So.
I love hearing that, because we all discover music differently. My hope is, and I'm not naive, that the new music DC 101 does play, there's somebody hearing that song for the very first time, you know, but I do appreciate all forms of just digesting music. So that's kind of a cool story.
So somebody requested mine. I can do one more and then I gotta bounce.
Yeah.
Should I play one more song?
Yeah. I think you should.
Let's see. How's it going?
I have two things for you. Number one, thank you for sharing your music in your home with us today. I know that these songs are personal, and to open up, your house is pretty spectacular. So thank you for that.
Oh, hey, anything to keep people inside, When you go outside, I told the story earlier. It's like I went to the store and some dude, he's in there and he doesn't have a mask on, and he's just trolling around the store, and it makes people tense, So I turned around, I was like, dude, put a mask on, It reduces transmission by like 85% if both people are wearing masks. It makes a big difference, and but this is just how we can keep people buoyed and keep people sheltered in place, and it's all I can do.
It's generous, and I don't take that for granted. The last question I have for you, that guitar, what's the story behind that? Is that one of your go-tos? Is it your favorite?
Yeah, I love this guitar. These are Gibson J150s. It's got a big round neck on the back, and I've got really big hands. So it fits my hand well. Kind of have like clubby hands. It strums really well, and I get excited, so I kind of beat the shit out of it. This one's from 1960. So they're pretty old and delicate, but I do love them. Thanks for asking.
How long have you had it?
Ooh, this one's pretty new. I've only had this one for like 12 years.
I mean, are you always on the hunt? Like, my wife and I were in Nashville just before all this started, and there's like some vintage guitar shop. When you're traveling and time allows, do you ever just go looking for a new guitar?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. There's so many guitars that I love. I love Gibson Explorers, but they usually don't sound very good. I love Fender Jazz Masters. Those always sound amazing, but I don't really sound as good playing them. I've got a really cool Gibson 335, which I play. I play those guitars a lot. They're a little bigger body because I'm pretty tall, so I do better with a bigger body guitar. And then I actually been finding this. It's really hilarious, but I got my hands on from a guitar tech. He lets me play it. He's got Paul Stanley's Ibanez, and it's my favorite guitar, and it's signed by Paul Stanley from Kiss on the back, and it feels so good and it rocks. It's just awesome. So yeah, it's always a treat to find guitars and try to find their story and then put your own story into it.
I'm going to encourage people to buy a t-shirt, buy your record, and then when we can buy a ticket to go see a Third Eye Blind show, I'll buy it and I'll see you, and I'll buy you guys some beers next time you guys are in DC.
Peace out. Much love to everybody in DC.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Claire.
Yep.